As Steve Wyche from NFL Network joins us, let's not forget that if they didn't do it, somebody else was going to. At least 5 other teams were going to.
And
when they
would have
fully
been
guaranteed the contract.
And their careers would have been on the line,
so
too.
So the Browns made this bed. They got to sleep in it. Somebody else would have happily slept in it. That's how good a football player we're talking about. Steve Wyche, what was your takeaway from Deshaun Watson meeting with the media at mandatory minicamp earlier today?
I actually haven't seen it yet, guys. I was in my car driving, so I haven't seen it. But from someone actually was there and called me about it and said, look, he continued to deny. He continues to hold the same position that he's held. And, to piggyback on what you guys are saying, don't think any of these decisions were made without the blessing of Jimmy and Dee Haslam. From the restructuring of the contract to outbidding every team to guaranteeing that contract, no GM and no head coach has the authority to do that without the blessing of ownership. So, Michael Holley, love you, brother, but they aren't getting rid of Angie Berry and Kevin Stefanski if this doesn't go well because they're complicit, right? These guys, they're going to be supported through this. So this whole decision was an organizational decision. They are committed to him. Baker is not coming in there playing for however many games. Deshaun is suspended. And then, once Deshaun comes back, they're trading Baker. That ship has sailed. They are committed to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Whatever is happening. So
they don't have much of a choice.
That's it.
Now, Wyche, I'm just saying, just to be clear, I'm not saying they should do that. Jimmy and Dee Haslam, they shouldn't do that. But I just looking at their history, I don't think they're committed to anything except for the Haslam. They're not committed to anything.
Don't fool yourself. Do not fool yourself on this. Do not fool yourself on this. I mean, from everything I've heard, everyone in that building, they're all in. I mean, in terms of at least football-wise. Right? They're in. They gave up 3 draft picks. It's not just the contract. They're all in. They got to see this thing through. And from everything they're seeing on the field, he looks fantastic. And from the way he's engaging with his teammates, he's been fantastic. Like, he's been the model guy. Well, there's this thing over here which could sink them, which is bringing negative attention to the franchise. And they are willing to ride all through it. It's June now. It is not September. We'll take the blow right now. The football starts. That's what we're focused on.
We got to get 2 more quick ones in, but last thing on Deshaun before we go to the guy he replaced, who you referenced a second ago. I said to Michael earlier, and nothing that he didn't know, the league's decision making isn't going to have anything to do with the status of Deshaun's reputation and whether or not he can successfully clear his name. This is about the NFL's image. What's the latest on where things stand in terms of how they're receiving, whether it's the Real Sports interview and the subsequent lawsuits? I think it was 2 lawsuits since then in the last 15 days and another 2 on the way to bring the total to 26, not to mention the New York Times report. How's the league processing this and factoring into their decision making?
Yeah, look, I don't have any direct knowledge of how the process is there, but, I know how the league operates. They hate this, right? This is something they wish they did not have to deal with because they're having to do an independent investigation into this and to one of what was their star players who was held up as a great guy, who now have all these accusations of how he's treated these multitudes, according to the New York Times, more than 60 massage therapists, which I think to the layman is like, why do you need 60 massage therapists when, one, the team has some of the best massage therapists in every NFL team in that market, and 2, when most of us treat a massage therapist like we treat a barber or hairstylist, once you find that one, you stick with them because they get everything out. So I'm sure the league, image-wise, is like they hate this. And, we're expecting some type of answer as to what punishment could be within the next few weeks. And I'm sure they would rather get that part out of the way as soon as possible now so they can move on to the next phase of things.
Hey, we got to move on shortly, but I got to say, I love the approach of the Carolina Panthers. Just accumulate distressed assets at quarterback if possible. Let them all have tryouts. I mean, Matt Corral, 3rd-round pick is not distressed, but nonetheless, you get a value pick there out of Ole Miss. You got Sam Darnold, reclamation from the Jets, and reportedly, they're still talking to Cleveland about getting Baker Mayfield to hang up as the salary. What do you know there?
Yeah, I mean, look, I do think Carolina more so than Seattle, even though I don't Seattle's out of it, are in the Baker Mayfield sweepstakes. And like you said, the hang-up is Baker is owed almost $19 million, and these teams do not want to absorb all of that salary. So will the Browns pay a good chunk of that at some point to get Baker out of the picture? We have seen teams do that. The Texans, I forget the player, it might have even been DeAndre Hopkins. They paid some of his salary to go to another team. So this is not uncommon for things to happen. So I do think Baker will be traded at some point. It's just a matter of when. Like I said, I would never expect him to see him set foot into that facility again because he doesn't want to, because the team doesn't want him to. They're committed to Deshaun Watson. So at some point he'll be traded. For what and how much of the salary the Browns pay is the big hang-up right now.
All right, man. We're going to hang up with you, but we appreciate you, man. Thanks for stopping through and dropping some knowledge.
Thank you, Steve.
If I didn't want coffee, I would have a taste for coffee. So
that's great.
Appreciate it.
Forget about the coffee. I want Bel Air and Santa Monica and Hollywood. That's what I want.
All right, man.
If you park in Palm Hills and Crenshaw, don't forget to represent.
That's right. Take that victory lap. Shout out. Nipsey. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.